Hey, Jen, thanks so much for joining me.
No problem, Jenna. It's my pleasure.
So, we're going to talk about title, a super exciting topic of title and title insurance.
Absolutely.
And I have a few questions for you just to help my buyers understand exactly what title is and, anything you want to share with them about that process. So, the first question I have for you is what is title insurance and why do you need it?
So listen, that's actually a great question. First and foremost, you need it because it protects you, right? And what does it protect you, the actual buyer? It protects you against financial loss that you could incur due to defects in the chain of title over the years that the property's been owned. Some of the more common defects that come up are tax liens, or back taxes, just liens in general, mechanics liens, things like that. People haven't paid their cell phone bills. All of that eventually get attached to a property. And then one that I think that we see the most common is conflicting wills, right? Or estates where people pass away and the rights to the property were not properly conveyed. So title insurance protects you against all that.
Mm.
I just wanted to add too. You said, if I remember correctly, who does it protect? It not only protects the buyer, but it protects the lender if you're going for a mortgage as well.
Okay.
Um, and just to add, the lender will require you to get title insurance.
Okay. Great. Thank you. And how do you get title insurance? How would they go about getting it?
So that's a great question. Title insurance, or let's back up for a second. A lot of insurances, like when you go to purchase your home and you need to get homeowners insurance or car insurance, right? Which that's not the purchase of home. You usually find yourself a local agent. Title insurance doesn't necessarily work like that. Title insurance is more a business to business where the entity helping you purchase your home, whether it be the realtor, the lender, or the attorney, they know the trusted people in the community in title insurance, and they'll usually go ahead and order the title insurance for you through the people that they've partnered with.
Okay, so it's just the buyer then that gets title insurance, correct?
Correct, absolutely. So the buyer is the one that's responsible for getting a title insurance, and they're the one that's ultimately going to be responsible for paying for it as well.
Okay, and can you tell us a little bit how they determine or how you determine the cost of the title insurance and the policy?
Yeah, so title insurance is the best way to say it is that title insurance is based on the purchase price of the home, right? So there are state mandated fees, the insurance fees. So no title insurer could be higher than the next, which is good, right? Because then that protects your clients for sure. But you'll notice that if you buy a $200,000 home, the cost of title insurance is probably going to run you, just a little over $2,000. But if you buy $1 million home, it's going to run you about $5,000. So again, I think that that's important to know that the purchase price of the home is truly indicative of what the title insurance fees will be.
Okay. And I would assume it's like most insurance, you don't need it till you need it. And I was wondering, like, do you ever have people say, like, oh, I don't think it's that important? And what would you say to someone who wants to kind of cut costs in this area?
I mean, I think that the simplicity of that answer is your home is most likely the most expensive purchase you're ever going to make in your life. Do you
Absolutely.
not want that insured? Do you
Hmm.
not want to know at the end of the day that, you know, a distant relative of somebody who once lived in your home can come knock on your door and say, "Hey, listen, I have rights to this property"? I don't think so, right?
Yeah, that would be
So
scary.
that would be really, really scary. Absolutely. So yeah, so
Yeah.
I think that yeah, this is not an optional. This is probably one of the most important insurances that you'll ever purchase in your life. And to your point, Jenna, it's probably one of the insurances that we all know the least about.
Yeah, I think that's what makes people kind of confused. But I know you've also mentioned in the past that no matter what, if you're getting a mortgage, you have to get it anyway. There's not an option for a buyer, correct?
There's
Unless
not
they.
an option. The only option that you ever have in getting title insurance is if you purchase a property in cash.
Okay.
Um, then you don't necessarily have to get it. But again, let's go back to that statement. This is, one of the biggest purchases you're going to make in your life. Don't you want to make sure it's got insurance that you are the sole owner of that property?
Absolutely. I think that's a perfect point to end on. And thanks so much for joining us and sharing your insight and information. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, Jen. Anytime. Thank you.
Thanks.